So I may have gotten a little carried away. This is the sorting system. As you can see, I wound up going ahead and building the storage system from Illusionist Naj. I've organized all of our stuff to the best of my abilities, and I've even attached an impulse sorter for bulk storage onto the left of it, so you can either put items in up here and it'll sort through everything here before going into the multi-item sorter, or if you know it's just going to go into the multi-item, you can just put items directly in here. So anything that goes through this system and doesn't get sorted will get fed down into this chest and then run through Naj's system. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I've got iron nuggets as placeholders, so I can pull those out and replace them with new items. So basically, if anything winds up in here and is not an unstackable item, I will know that I need to add it to the system, or I need to add an extra slot for it because I've run out of space. This is going to keep me a lot more organized. I usually stay pretty organized, but I hate manually sorting items, and doing that for an entire season last year was terrible for me. So yeah, storage system. And as for the build itself, I stuck to the theme, our Flintstones theme, obviously, and I just kind of went with a couple of big boulders. I actually built this one on the fly. I did not design it in advance. I think based off of that, it turned out all right. I mean, it's just a rock, so there wasn't a whole lot to do with it. Made sure that it had the same texture patterning, and it sort of slopes up a little bit. It's got nice little rounded shape. And there's even like a little divot in the top with just this nice little entrance. I am planning on putting a banner, a sign here. Like this is just like kind of a billboard thing. And so I'm going to do like banner letters across the middle. I can't remember what I'm going to put. I was thinking Harding suggested Rock Depot just without the T. And that would fit kind of like from end to end, which could be cool. So I'm just deciding if that's what I want to do, and then I gotta actually get the banners made, so I should probably shear sheep, which, I'll do later. I also built a little 16-unit, I was going to say sugarcane, a bamboo farm, and I even threw a compacting system into the bottom here. It's kind of all covered up, but yeah, it basically just compacts the bamboo into bamboo blocks. So I'm pretty much set on wood for the foreseeable future. I have also done a little bit of work on the iron farm. So it's been running really well ever since I expanded everything out past the surrounding area. And this area down here is the new storage location. So we've added a splitter, and there's a composter for the poppies that come in. We saved a bunch of them, so if I ever need red dye, I can still do that. And if I really need more, I can always just pop out this composter and replace it with a hopper. The iron then gets filtered this way and into the same compacting system we have over at the bamboo farm. So this one's a little bit more exposed, so I can show you what it looks like. You can see the system's actually pretty small. So you just have a crafter set to 8 over here, and that feeds an 8-powered signal from this comparator into this one. This one's on subtract mode, so it needs a power greater than 8 in order to push the signal forward. So that means that this will only go and power it on 9, so when it's full. It'll send a signal into here. This block gets picked up by this redstone wire into this repeater, and that pushes a signal just like that into the bamboo plank, which then powers the crafter. That will just feed blocks of iron in here, so I don't need a huge, gigantic storage system. That'll probably get me for get half the server, and that's assuming I don't even empty it, which we do. Honestly, I don't remember what else I haven't shown, since lots happened since the last episode. Can't remember if we had these guys, but yeah, we've got armadillos here now. We have the sniffer farm up and running. This is Harding's sniffer farm. He wanted to keep to the kind of like the white theme. So we've got birch logs for the corners and diorite walls, and then a little bit deeper coloring on the deep slate brick stairs because it's kind of got like that mud flooring, which simulates a bit of a tar pit. And he's got smoke coming out of the sides, which is cool. And I added a little bit of mud just kind of leaking out of the sides a little bit. Gonna get some more and kind of spread it around a little bit. And in the back, we've got pitcher pods and torch flower seeds. And yeah, there's a couple of small builds and a couple of larger builds that I would like to get to. And I'm thinking I might do... well, I might do another tree, just as a little thing to start. I do want to cover this up, but that... Uh-oh, the birds are out. Anyway, let's get to the tree. Hello there. I think we have somebody who's interested in the shop, maybe? Maybe not. If you're wondering what this is the start of the Nether Hub for this season. No, that is not my portal. That is Victor Dess's portal. And a little awkward, but our portal is actually supposed to go right behind it, just around that corner. But right now, because there's no shopping district yet, we have the shops kind of in the tunnels at the moment. So there's a couple down that way, and there's some in the other tunnels, but these are ours. So Harding has started selling his prismarine, sea lanterns, and dark prismarine, as well as sniffer eggs, which I believe are sold out right now. And I've started selling iron ingots, which it looks like we've made our first diamond, which is pretty cool. And as you can see, we also finished our tree. I think it looks pretty nice. And no, it's not a carbon copy of the one over here. I did make it different. You can see it's got a little bit of a different shape to it while still maintaining the same style. And I've also gone ahead and added some little kind of mini outcroppings just to help blend it in to the area a little bit. I might do a little bit more over time. But I wanted to keep it kind of sparse because that's kind of the vibe in Bedrock. And here and there, I've just got these kind of like little mini sprouting trees just starting to come up, which I think is kind of cute. So it's been a few days, and we've got a couple of new builds popping up. So it's a little dinosaur that Harding made. I think is really cute, and I think we're going to see a couple more of these types of builds kind of just peppered around. We also have this. So this is a villager breeder. And essentially what you do is you take food, like this, and you throw it in here. And it just goes up there, goes into a dispenser, and you might be able to hear it. So the water takes it up into here. The dispenser clock will then activate once the items go down into here and shoots the carrots into the farm. And so once they have enough carrots, they will breed and a baby pops out and will try to travel to a bed that's right under here. And he'll fall down because of the trapdoor. And that will take him down this little fun slide and right over here. And as you can see, we now have a baby villager. So there's a minecart here. Press the minecart, picks up the villager, takes him off. So this is basically the same setup that I had in my old farm. This is a little over-engineered. I probably didn't need the extra water stream. I could have put this straight up on top of this, but I figured separating it out a little bit just allowed me to kind of segregate the pieces in case I need to add anything in between. Plus, it gave me a little bit of space to get this up and over and the hopper clock, so I think it's fine. We've also done a little bit of work in the iron farm area. You may remember we had a couple of armorers and toolsmiths and weaponsmiths. We had one of each, and we had a mason. Well, now we have 2 masons, and we have 2 of each of the iron traders. So this will allow us to get over a stack of emeralds at a time, which is pretty cool. I just have to watch the iron farm's output because we have been burning through iron pretty quickly. In the spirit of the villagers, now that we've got this online, I've been really pumping out the villagers for a trade hall. So this is the trade hall, and in here we have a whole bunch of villagers. Now, we don't have every single trade. Unfortunately, we don't have sharpness 5 or some of like the less common ones. I basically just avoided a bunch of the unimportant things, but we do have a couple of extra slots. So here we have our Mending Band of Arthropods 5 and Knockback Guy, Efficiency 5, Restoration 2, and I've been unlocking some of the villagers. This guy was our Feather Falling 4, so he's now got Silk Touch and at a better trade than our actual Silk Touch guy. So I'm probably going to get rid of him and replace him. So that's probably where our Sharpness 5 is going to go. We've also got a Mending trade here, but it's at a worse rate than this one. Although, if we really wanted to, we could axe this guy if we clean this one. We'll see if I am going to take care of that at some point, probably. We've got Infinity, Unbreaking 3, Fortune 3. This one's also got Loyalty 1 as an unlock. Loyalty 3, Protection 4. This one took 30 minutes to do. Not happy with you. Power 5, Depth Strider 3, and Sweeping Edge 3. This one I didn't even have to cycle. I woke up this morning and he had Sweeping 3, so that's nice. So I'll try and unlock the rest of the trades here. We'll replace this guy, and we'll think about whether or not we want to keep the Bane of Arthropods. So that is the Librarian Hall done. And you can see over here, these huts are now empty, so I think I'm just going to start taking a lot of this down. Alright, it's better. And we can probably take this down, and I have to figure out what we're going to do with these two guys. So we've got the leather worker here that sells saddles, and over here we've got our cleric, which I do want to add more clerics. So I want to keep them all kind of clustered. I am planning on putting a build over here, which I've staked out, and that's going to be where this guy over here, our farmer, is going to go. And I have to decide what I'm going to do with the other ones. I do want a second cleric, so we'll see. And then I think over here we have a Fletcher here. And then I think, I think it's Harding's Fisherman? Yeah, that's Harding's Guardian Farm. Produces a lot of rock cod, so he uses that for trades here. So I may put the Fisherman and the Farmer in the build here. I need to figure out how I'm going to do that. And yeah, figure out something to do with the other two. So overall, I think we're in a good spot. You may also notice that we have the Flintstones car, and I sort of brushed over this in the intro, but yeah, I built the Flintstones car, which I'm pretty happy with, and you might be able to notice the little guy floating around. Where is he? It's the Great Gazoo. Hey, dum-dum. So I did do a time-lapse for it. Unfortunately, I did build it backwards in the time-lapse. Thankfully, this thing is pretty easily reversed. But I didn't realize I had my schematic reversed, so I wound up building it backwards before realizing, which is why you're seeing the time-lapse very quick right now instead of a proper piece like you did with the tree. That was supposed to be the main time-lapse of the video, but things happen. It's also been a few days since I showed off the last clip about the storage facility. So as you can see, I've increased our label clarity, and I've been working hard at completely filling these things up. We're not quite there yet, but we're doing better. And you might notice this little guy here. So this is one of the new armadillos. And one of the things that armadillos like to do is they like to poop scoots. And if we look over at the output here, you can see we have over a stack of scoots. Now, one of the things that this storage system doesn't do that well is feed items all the way through the storage system. It sort of like holds an item. So if you click on the dropper here, yeah, you can see a coarse fruit here. Over here, there's another coarse fruit. If we go all the way to the end, you'll probably start seeing the scoots. Oh, no, more coarse fruit. We got over here. All right, I think Harding's been using the system, but yeah, so what this guy does is he just drops off scoots, like he sheds them periodically, and that'll go into the hopper, which pushes into this chest, and that feeds to the system. So that means that over time, the scoots will naturally just flush out the other items in the system and make sure that they go all the way through. So the things that I'm actually putting in the system actually go through the system and don't get stuck in it. So I figured, Flintstones theme, having a little dinosaur help you out. I know it's an armadillo, but he kind of looks like a little dinosaur, doesn't he? It's not a sniffer, but it's pretty close. And I figured, it's a living. I also did a bit of work over here. So I like having like an AFK area in pretty much every build I build. It's a safety thing. I always want to be able to log out wherever I am and not have to like run all the way over to a designated AFK spot. So while I do have the house over there, if I just want to AFK over here, I have an office. And yes, this is my manager's office. And as before, I can sit down and look at me. Yes, I am the manager. And yes, we value diorite here. But as you can see, we've got our employee of the month, which I thought was funny. And our profits, which, they started by peaking and then they dipped for a little bit, but then they went back up again. I don't know. It was funny. And we've got our Breeze player head and our Elder Guardian just showing off our accomplishments. We've got a little bit of extra storage if I ever need to throw anything in there. I plan on naming this paper something. I just haven't done that yet. And we've got another little seat where a visitor can sit and get a talking to by me. And we threw one of our decorated pots in here with a little mangrove property on top inside a regular pot. So that's nice. Plus a little cactus. I think this is nice. And then this is one of the new posters, which I think is pretty cool. I don't know if it fits the theme of the Flintstones, but villagers are people too, I think. Honestly, the lore on villagers is kind of confusing. But I think that does it for today's video. I think next video we will start focusing on the next build. So expect a time lapse for this one right here. Who knows? Maybe another tree, maybe some more villager work, maybe something else. Who knows? We'll see how the mood strikes me. But until then, I want you to take care, like and subscribe if you're new, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye!